Hello guys, so welcome to Sync in English. So today we will be going to discuss about a few of the theories. Last time we discussed about minimal group experiment. So today we will try to discuss about social identity theory, relative deprivation theory, realistic conflict theory, balance theories, equity theory, social exchange theory. So we'll be trying to see one by one. So today let's begin with realistic conflict theory. So if you see the social context of prejudice, so we have different theories are there which explains the relationships between the groups. So let us today understand about the realistic conflict theory. So what is exactly the realistic conflict theory? Suggests that people come to dislike members of other groups because they see these groups as competing with their own group. So what happens is people tend to like members of cooperating the groups within the groups. So people are motivated by a desire to maximize the rewards they receive in the life. So even if that means taking away from others rewards. So a realistic conflict theory would actually pose a competition leads to conflict that leads to prejudice. So this is something which we can explain prejudice and discrimination with different types of theories. So within which we have started with realistic conflict theory. So when conflict comes, when there is a competition leads to the conflict and that leads to the prejudice. So let's see how many, so within a realistic conflict theory, there are different types of realistic conflict theory. So one is intergroup, the other one is response to domination by outgroup, and responses to challenges to in-group dominance. So these are the different types of realistic conflict theory. So majorly here, the competition creates a conflict. That is the key point that you need to remember when the concept is concerned. So in UGC, there may be confusing you with the statements saying, it is not a conflict or there is no competition. There would be cooperation. So this is realistic theory which talks about competitiveness versus cooperation. So you should be very much clear which creates the conflict. So let's understand each type of realistic conflict theory. So one type of realistic conflict is that intergroup competition. So here intergroup competition is nothing but domination of outgroup by in-group itself and competition with equal groups. So they are challenging and equally capable. So within those groups, this competition would arise. So conflict would arise, and then prejudice would arise. Next one is response to domination by outgroup. So when this response would come, right? So it is a stable oppression of in-group by outgroup. It's completely stable, and unstable oppression of in-group by outgroup. So these are the conditions in which the in-group would respond to the domination by outgroups. So or in-group sees challenges as unjust. So even with this combination, we will get the responses to the domination which is posed by outgroups. So what about the third one? So that is responses to challenges to in-group dominance. So this is nothing but in-group sees challenges as justified. So this in-group should see that challenges be justified, so that this response towards in-group dominance would actually create a certain type of competition within the group itself. So in this way, we could understand the types of realistic conflict. And when we talk about realistic conflict theory, we talked about stable oppression. So what is stable oppression? It's nothing but false consciousness, which holding a false or inaccurate beliefs that are contrary to one's own social interest. So in which they have to contribute to maintain the disadvantage position of the particular group. So this is something which we talk about stable oppression. So this stable oppression is seen in the realistic conflict, types of realistic conflict. So this is about realistic conflict theory, or this is about realistic conflict theory, and then we'll be talking about realistic relative deprivation theory in later part. Thank you for watching.